Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this special edition of Crossman Wrestling Live. Now, before we get into this live stream, there is something I need to address. Now, I'm probably about to sound like a bitch, and one of the things I hate most in the world, and that's an attention seeker. I'm not that, so that's not why I'm doing this, and I'm probably going to regret doing this. Now, I am a very anxious person, and when I'm about to go live, whenever it's by myself or as a guest on someone else's channel, I have to have a mental battle because I don't know, it's just a feeling of dread that I have, and I need to eradicate this feeling. This is why I am live right now. I have thrown myself in the deep end so I can eradicate this. And so when I am a guest on other people's channels, I can be better. I can perform better. I can give more input, and I don't have this constant feeling of dread going on. So we're going to get into this. You may think this title and this thumbnail is stupid, and I get that. Triple H has a pacemaker. He has heart issues. I get that. But my heart tells me that we will see Triple H wrestling again this year at Wrestlemania against The Rock. And we will get into that at more detail. We do have some chats. Yes, The Rock versus Triple H should happen, but he has a pacemaker from God Loves You. Yes, I've just mentioned that. And again, we've seen people come back from injuries and from life-altering illnesses. Roman Reigns came back from leukemia. Daniel Bryan came back from heavy concussions. Edge came back from a near enough broken neck. Paige came back from a broken neck, unfortunately. She has made AEW 10 times worse than what it was, and it was bad before she joined. After she joined, oh my God. Can't stand her. I cannot stand Paige at all. When she was the general manager of Smackdown in 2018, I think it was, I could not watch Smackdown at all. It was cringe. It was horrible. I hated it. I could not watch any segment to do with Paige. So what we're going to get into right now is the Elimination Chamber. Elimination Chamber is only a 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. And we didn't know what Seth Rollins was going to be doing at WrestleMania. Who is he going to be facing? And we found out last night through Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce that he will be defending whoever wins again in the Elimination Chamber. And we got some qualifying matches. Now, I have a bit of an issue with these qualifying matches, only the ones that happened last night. I don't mind the Raw versus SmackDown dynamic they've got going on, and that's because Cody Rhodes, who is a Raw superstar, is fighting for the SmackDown Championship. So it's only fair for SmackDown guys to have a crack at the belt that's on Raw. So it makes sense in that way. But what I didn't like about last night's qualifying matches is babyface versus babyface, heel versus heel. Now, I wouldn't mind it as much if AEW didn't kill this idea and bury it in the ground, because AEW every single week, babyface versus babyface, heel versus heel. Who's the better wrestler? With nothing. And AEW have killed this dynamic of face versus face and heel versus heel. When I see it on WWE, I'm just thinking, well, why are you doing this? Why? I don't want to see heel Drew versus tweener / heel AJ. I don't want to see face Randy Orton versus face Sami Zayn. The Randy Orton and Sami Zayn match really struck me by surprise. I thought both of these men would end up in the Elimination Chamber, but they went up against each other. Randy Orton won. Sami Zayn is not in the match. And yeah, it's just a concept that AEW have killed my enjoyment for. Now, it can work now and then, very rarely, depending who it is and what it's for. And I don't think this was one of them times. You need to save something like this for a unique position where it feels like it's needed and the fans can willingly cheer both faces. And if it's two heels, it's a bit of a weird dynamic unless you are turning one of the heels face. Now, AJ, I don't know if he's a heel or a tweener. I'm not sure what AJ Styles is at the minute, but LA Knight helping a heel, helping Drew win. I know it was indirectly, but helping a heel win a match. LA Knight, it's weird. I don't know if you guys felt that, but it just felt off. It felt strange, and I didn't like it. But hopefully the rest of these matches aren't like this. I know we've got Kevin Owens versus Dominic Mysterio and Logan Paul versus The Miz next week. Bronson Reed, who has been announced for these matches, is definitely 100% going in this Elimination Chamber match. He's Australian. He's in Australia. Bronson Reed is going in this match 100%, no questions asked. And Randy Orton and Drew are in the match. Clearly, we all know who's going to win this Elimination Chamber match. It's Drew McIntyre. Now, how does Sami Zayn get involved? Because Sami Zayn's clearly building up to be in the World Heavyweight Championship match. He's doing all these vignettes, all these promos. I'm going for Rocky 2 because he said at Elimination Chamber last year that was Rocky 1. He went the distance but lost, and now he wants to go and win. So they are building Sami up for a World Championship match. I just don't know how they're going to get in there. Some people have said he should face Gunther. No, Sami Zayn's been Intercontinental Champion twice, I think, maybe 3 times. He was okay as a champion. Obviously, Vince was running things back then, so he was very limited to what he could do. But Sami Zayn's World Championship material now. So some may disagree because of his stature. But I like Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is my favourite wrestler. And Sami Zayn should be in the World Heavyweight Championship match. How he gets in there, I don't know. But we will see. Now, on to Triple H and The Rock. So, at the press conference, we saw Triple H and The Rock go at odds. There's a power struggle. Rock is on the TKO board. Triple H is the COO, Chief Content Officer, CCO, that's what he is. And there is a power struggle. The Rock wants to face Roman, but Triple H has said that Cody Rhodes will be facing Roman Reigns. Now, Paul Heyman announced that The Rock and Roman will be on Smackdown next week. Roman Reigns is facing Cody Rhodes. The Rock is not being added to this match. It will not be a triple threat match. I know some people wanted that, and I was sort of for it last week, but that was before The Rock turned heel and aligned himself with Roman Reigns. Some people think The Rock will cost Roman the match at WrestleMania. No, because if we're building to The Rock versus Roman at 41, we need something fresh, something different. Do you really want to see the good old babyface Rock doing his usual shit and Roman Reigns doing his usual shit? Or do you want to see a switch? Do you want to see heel corporate Rock versus babyface Roman? I would much prefer to see that. I would much prefer to see a story that is built up for a whole year rather than something that starts at WrestleMania and then ends until the following year. Because if The Rock turns on Roman, then The Rock's not going to show up until around Royal Rumble time next year. If we do heel Rock and Roman is his lackey, the screen's gone off. Hang on. It shouldn't do that. Anyway, if Roman is the Rock's lackey, because that's what it looked like at the press conference. Roman was like the Rock's Jey Uso. Now, Roman is the tribal chief. Roman is the leader of the bloodline. But the Rock is taking over. So we have that build, that dissension slowly creep in throughout the year as the Rock is causing havoc as this heel Vince McMahon-esque authority figure without the feces. But if The Rock did this, if WWE went with this, which is what I think they are going, this is what is best for business. I am looking forward to see what The Rock does throughout the year to piss people off. Not fans, the storyline, the wrestlers, mainly the baby faces. Cody Rhodes, he could cost Cody Rhodes the championship later in the year because Cody Rhodes, he ain't hanging on to that belt for a full year. I don't think anyone wants to see that because we've had Roman holding this belt for nearly 4 years. So I'd say Cody's reign, 7 months, 8 months. I think that's about right. And The Rock costs him the championship. And that is how much impact The Rock should have if he is going with this heel authority figure character, which I think will be absolutely fantastic. The corporate bloodline, I was going to say bloodline, the corporate bloodline, and I think that would be fantastic. And because Cody Rhodes' story is ending at WrestleMania, finish the story will be finished. A new one needs to begin. That new one is Rock and Roman causing havoc until Roman eventually decides, I've had enough of your bullshit, and turns on The Rock, and Roman Reigns turns babyface. The Rock is a heel, everybody wins. And we have a chat. Triple H is not cleared to wrestle. This is not going to happen. You never know. You never know. As I said at the start of this, Roman Reigns came back after leukemia. Daniel Bryan came back after career-ending concussions. Edge came back after a near-broken neck. Paige, unfortunately, came back after a broken neck. It depends what style of match they work, because I think Triple H can work a match as long as he's not taking that many bumps. A bit like the match he had with Batista at WrestleMania 35. You get a no holds barred, no DQ, where it looks brutal, but it isn't. They don't have to take that many bumps, that many wrestling moves. They can work a match at a slow but good pace, where it isn't getting boring, and Triple H is fine. But at the end of the day, it is all about his health. I don't want Triple H to do this, obviously, if it's gonna kill him. We don't want none of that, obviously. But The Rock has nothing to do at WrestleMania. At the end of the day, Roman is facing Cody. Seth is facing whoever wins the Elimination Chamber. What's The Rock going to do? The Rock needs a match at WrestleMania because he's here. He's here as corporate Rock, and he needs to make the most of it. What better way? The Rock, Triple H, the winner takes control of WWE, and The Rock wins that match. This is leading to a power struggle storyline between The Rock and the Bloodline and Triple H, with various wrestlers maybe leading to a big faction war. Yeah, I've seen a couple of people. I think it was what's his name, Santi Zap. He's quite a big YouTuber. He does live streams. He mentioned a War Games match, Team Authority versus Team Bloodline, and that does sound like a really good idea. I do like the sound of that, but I think the way to build to that is The Rock versus Triple H, if Triple H is able to do it. And I think the way he is able to do it is if they do a no holds barred, no DQ, don't take that many bumps kind of match where they can work safe but make it look brutal at the same time. Because at the end of the day, these men are both professionals. However, The Rock hasn't wrestled a full match since WrestleMania 29. He did have that 6-second match with Eric Rowan at 32. and Triple H hasn't wrestled a full match, I believe, since 35 with Batista. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is the last match he had. So, if Triple H and The Rock do have a WrestleMania match, which I hope they do, as long as Triple H is in the correct health to do so, then that is how The Rock starts to gain his power. He beats Triple H, takes control of WWE, and then they find ways to bring Triple H back in throughout the year until Survivor Series, when we get War Games, Team Triple H, Team Rock. Obviously, Triple H ain't going to be in this War Games match. That's definitely a bit too much for him. But we will see. And at the end of the day, we don't know much until WrestleMania season really starts to kick in, which is around March when we start knowing most of the matches. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to listen to what the dirt sheets have got to say when it comes to WrestleMania matches. They, depending whether you believe all of this WWE did was a work or something that they planned out which backfired and then decided to pivot. I personally think that most of it was a work. I think we was worked hard and they did a very good job of it. That's my opinion. I'm not saying that's a fact. Please don't say, oh, you're wrong, because it's just an opinion. I think that is the case. And I think, where was I? I think they've got a plan to go ahead with this and have The Rock be the corporate overlord of WWE, like how Vince was in the late 90s. I love factions, so I'm 100% cool if Survivor Series becomes a major deal again because of this. Yeah, Survivor Series has had a bad rap over the years. Now that they've added War Games in, it feels fresh, but I feel like the traditional 5-on-5 is now dead, a dead concept, which is unfortunate because that was the tradition. But the War Games idea for it is good. However, I'm not a fan of the like with Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. It's a gimmick pay-per-view and TLC and all that sort of stuff. Now I think War Games needs to be implemented when it's needed instead of every year at Survivor Series, because that defeats the object and it makes it a gimmick pay-per-view, even though Survivor Series is technically a gimmick pay-per-view anyway, with the traditional 5-on-5, but War Games is more extreme and needs to always have something big going in to War Games. If Triple H can't make the Mania match, I have 3 alternate suggestions for who he could pick to represent him: LA Knight, Nick Aldis, or for a huge shocker, Shane McMahon. One more thing. Cody Rhodes, Crybaby fans, happy now? You got your wish. Yes, we are happy. We are proud Cody Crybabies. Speaking of Crybabies, mine is in the next room crying because I was a bit too loud. It is what it is. She'll go back to sleep. I'll finish this stream and then I can sort her out. So what have we got next? We've done Triple H and Rock. We've done the Elimination Chamber. I've gone over whether it could be a work or a shoot. Now, this new era of WWE, because it is a new era, after what we saw at the press conference, I'm struggling to think because all I can hear is crying, but she will go back to sleep. After what we saw at the press conference, with all the swearing and the insider terms being used, we are in a new era because Vince McMahon's WWE would never have any of this, ever, right? No swearing. They would have the occasional bitch or a very rare shit from Brock Lesnar, because it's Brock Lesnar. You're not going to tell Brock Lesnar, I don't say that. It's Brock Lesnar. But I think with what's going on right now with this TKO merger, I think they're trying to make it more sports presentation without going too deep into sports presentation. Now, that's a good thing because we don't want to go too deep into sports-based presentation, because at the end of the day, wrestling isn't a full 100% sport. It is sports entertainment, and we need to be entertained with storylines, which takes away a lot of the sports-based product that AEW tried to do. Oh, we are sports-based wrestling. Next thing you know, we've got Tony Storm doing a black and white silent movie gimmick. That doesn't make much sense. Facts. Oh, Lord Cosmo, hello. Wrestling is supposed to be entertainment. Yes, it is. It is supposed to be entertainment, and with AEW, they're trying to go too deep into it being a sport, a real sport, and it isn't. We all know it isn't. And there needs to be entertaining storylines in there to keep us invested. And if WWE can go a little bit in there while still keeping the entertainment part, that's great. I love that. But what AEW did with it, oh, and then they're bringing the rankings back. The rankings that they've done, I've seen them, and oh my god! Usually when you've got rankings, you have a champion, you have their contenders. But AEW have done it so that the men's contenders can choose which championship they want to go for. It's just one bracket for the men's instead of separate. We've got the main event, the mid card, and all the. It should be just one main event and one mid card, but they've got so many belts. It's ridiculous. But say, who's a mid wrestler? Sammy Guevara. Say if Sammy Guevara somehow gets to the top of that, and he's more of a mid card contender, and he can say, I want to face Samoa Joe. Why? Why is it like that? It shouldn't be like that. He needs to win the mid card championship and have a good run with that before he proceeds into the main event bracket. Now I know he's already been a mid card champion, but his reputation has gone downhill because he likes to get involved in lots of fights. I really need to catch up with these chats. Shane would obviously be touchy because of who his father is. Honestly, I don't think Shane likes his dad. I really don't. But he's done a good enough job distancing himself from Vince over the years, and him coming to defend WWE out of the love for it makes sense. And then you said something else. One more thing, not even close to 1K. What the fuck are you doing? Is that a different guy? No, yeah, it's a different guy. Of course, I'm not close to 1K. What do you expect? But yeah, as for Shane, Shane's very divisive because while he isn't as bad as Vince, he during the last few years of his run, he became so annoying, like really annoying. I wanted to turn off my TV. What's it called? Go away, heat. That's what Shane had. Go away, heat. And yeah, it'll be nice to see Shane back. But I feel like, I don't know, if Vince is not there, he won't be able to do his politics stuff like he did with the Royal Rumble in 2022. He changed everything. He made the whole show a mess, the whole match a mess even. And with Triple H being in charge of running things, I don't think Shane would be able to have that power to be annoying. So you could bring Shane in, but I think WWE are trying to distance themselves from the McMahon name. So I don't think we will see Shane McMahon in WWE anytime soon. And I don't think we'll see Brock Lesnar anytime soon. Even if Brock Lesnar's name has been cleared, I think they'll still distance themselves. And Vince, this is something else we need to talk about because in a minute we've got a chat. Oh, Misfits Nations, how are you doing? New Age wrestling fans are under the impression that entertainment means you get everything you want. Sometimes us fans being disappointed and even angry at the story in the intended result. Yeah, so when everyone was raging about Cody Rhodes losing last year at WrestleMania, I wasn't because I was disappointed. But I knew that they was going to build it up for another year and have him win. He needed to have adversity. He can't just come in, wrestle a couple of matches, have a Hell in a Cell with a torn peg, which was absolutely fucking brutal. But come in, win the Royal Rumble, beat Roman Reigns, who's been holding that belt for, I think, at that point, for 3 years. So he needed to have more adversity. That's why they had him go up against Brock Lesnar and all that stuff he did throughout the year. And they built him up because people like me last year wasn't into Cody Rhodes. I was not into Cody Rhodes whatsoever. I wanted Sami Zayn in that spot at WrestleMania. And some point last year, in the middle of the year, I wanted LA Knight in that spot at WrestleMania, this coming WrestleMania. Now, I am 100% behind Cody Rhodes. And I started to get behind Cody Rhodes in November, December time. And that's where I decided, yeah, I can buy this guy as my world champion. I can buy this guy as the top guy in the company because he goes above and beyond. Cody Rhodes does. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a video online where at a house show, a fan is holding up a sign saying, "Cody, will you be my best man?" And usually wrestlers, they ignore that sort of stuff. Cody Rhodes, he got the microphone and he says, "Well, what day is it? Can you change it to this day?" When he said, yeah, I'll be there. So Cody Rhodes agrees to be this fan's best man, a man he's not even met in his life. And Cody Rhodes agrees to do it for the love of the fans. And I love that. Now, also, Cody Rhodes isn't the perfect wrestler, if you know what I mean. He's not like John Cena, where everything's just perfect, everything's perfect. He comes across sometimes as awkward, which is relatable. And you want somebody in that position to be somewhat relatable. Not fully relatable. You don't want him to have a stupid beard and overweight like myself, but just some relatable. What's the word I'm looking for? Just relatable things that you have that make you want to root for this person, which is why Daniel Bryan was so popular. Sami Zayn became so popular because of that. He is not the average professional wrestler, big and strong and steadied up. He was just a small guy that you like, and depending what sort of storyline they do, they make you like him more and more and more and more and more. And that's how these guys become popular. So with Cody Rhodes, I know I've drifted off the topic completely, so I'm going to get back onto it. But yeah, Cody Rhodes, he lost at Mania to build up to this year, and it was the right decision. Now, I didn't really have that much of an opinion on it when it happened. I really didn't care that much because I wasn't that into Cody Rhodes, and I also didn't want Roman to be holding the belt for another year because, yeah, I love Roman as champion, but when he only shows up, how many defenses? He had 5 defenses last year. And he wrestled 7 matches altogether. He had those tag matches, and then he had 5 championship defenses. And I don't think that's enough. I don't mind him skipping out on one pay-per-view, being on the next one. But when you're skipping out Survivor Series, man, something's got to change. We need a full-time champion, at least for a bit. The part-time champion thing does work, but when you do it for this long, oh my God, does it get frustrating and somewhat boring when they're just not there for that long? Yeah, he takes 2 months off. 2 months. That's just too long. It takes my excitement away from Roman Reigns, and I do like Roman Reigns as champion, but when he's off for 2 months at a time, man, it's just I just don't like it. And as for the Cody crybaby thing, because I know you Misfit guys, you probably didn't like the hashtag We Want Cody. I was part of that, unfortunately. The WWE worked me hard. I got worked, and I'm not ashamed because at the end of the day, that's what wrestling's supposed to do. They're supposed to work you. They're supposed to make you think something's real, and they did that very well. And I'm happy about that. I'm happy I got worked, and at the end of the day, we got what we wanted. Cody Rhodes is facing Roman Reigns, and what is The Rock doing? I don't know. I mentioned earlier about Triple H. Hopefully, he can face Triple H. But it depends how Triple H is feeling, if he can actually wrestle a match without hurting himself severely. Roman's part-time status never bothered me until he won at 39, because at that point it felt like he's not telling a story with that title anymore, and he's just holding it for a record. Yeah, the storytelling finished with Roman uh, when after they had that Money in the Bank match, that tag team match, because while the build for Jey Uso was good for SummerSlam, it just wasn't. The match wasn't very good. It was too long, and after that, Roman took 2 months off. So that was left a bad taste in my mouth personally, and in a lot of other people's. So with Rome, if Roman drops the championship at WrestleMania, which hopefully he fucking does, because if he doesn't, oh, I'm taking a few days off the internet, because all I'm going to see is people raging, and I ain't got time for that. I don't want to see people raging. But if he loses, then The Rock becomes the new leader of the Bloodline, Corporate Rock. Corporate Rock is running things. Roman Reigns is his Jey Uso, his right-hand man. Roman Reigns has been relegated to... In fact, no, he could still be the tribal chief, because in the family tree that Rock showed, under the Rock's name, it said that he was the High Chief. So, is Rock the High Chief of the Bloodline? Is he one of the elders? Is he the elder that sent Solo Sikoa to help Roman Reigns against Drew McIntyre at Clash at Castle 2022? You never know. So Roman Reigns could still be the tribal chief, but The Rock is the High Chief. Roman answers to Rock. And throughout the year, Roman starts to detest that. Roman doesn't like that. And Roman turns babyface against heel Rock. Face Roman, heel Rock, WrestleMania 41. And I think that dynamic is loads better than the generic, predictable face Rock, heel Roman. I think that will be so much better, so much more interesting, and they could build this up for an entire year without having the championship involved. High Chief, I can't pronounce that word. So I'm not even going to attempt it. It's bigger than the tribal chief. Yeah, I assumed that was the case, because that's what it said under The Rock's name. He is the High Chief of the Bloodline. And what interested me the most as well is that family tree showed all their real names, their shoot names. It didn't say Roman Reigns, Jey Uso. It did say that, but in brackets underneath their real names, it showed all their real names, which added to the realism that they was going for at that presser. And that's what made me enjoy that presser the most, was when they cut back to the panel, and you've got Big E sat there saying, well, what sort of match are we building here? And he's giving all these insider terms, and I'm thinking, E, what are you doing? I know you've not been on TV for a while, bro, but you can't be talking like this. And then Triple H goes and does it. Triple H says, oh, people had to go into business for themselves. And I was grinning from ear to ear thinking, what am I watching? What are they doing? This is fucking amazing. And I hope they lean more into this going forward. I really do, because it could make WWE feel fresh and make it a new era for WWE, where they get into this realism aspect and making casuals, not us, because we know wrestling isn't real, but casuals that aren't so as clued in, thinking, wow, people told me this was fake. What's going on here? Because at the end of the day, a lot of casuals aren't that clued in, and I've bet a lot of it, right? I'm sure you have too, where you've come across someone, right, that isn't a wrestling fan, but they've heard of wrestling. They've flicked past channels and they've seen some wrestling, right? And they say to you, oh, I like AEW because that's real. I like TNA because that's real, not fake like WWE. I remember seeing one guy. I used to like WCW because that was real. It wasn't real. None of it was fucking real. But you do get some people like this that think one wrestling company is real while the other one's fake. I've met so many people that think this way, and I try to correct them, but it's not. It's like they don't want to listen to me because they scoff at wrestling. They think, ha, you watch naked men in tights have wrestling matches. You must be gay. You know that sort of thing. I'm sure you guys have had that from people as well, where they mock you for liking professional wrestling. You know that's fake, right? My missus is like it. She hates wrestling, hates it. And every time I want to talk about wrestling to her, she ain't listening. Every time I want to put wrestling on, she goes to bed. She ain't interested. I've tried so many times to get her into it. And at one point, she nearly was, because I remember watching, what was it? It was a Saudi show they did not long after Bray Wyatt came back. And Bray Wyatt came out and he was talking at the Saudi show. And I saw her sitting there listening and watching what Bray Wyatt was saying. And I looked at her and I said, you was getting into that, wasn't you? She wouldn't admit it. But I could see that she was getting into it. So hopefully one day I can indoctrinate her into the IWC. But with that being said, I've gone over absolutely everything, and I've done surprisingly well considering this is the first live stream I have done in 5 months, and we've actually had some people in here. We've actually had some chatter. We've actually had quite a lot of comments, and I'm happy with that. I was expected to become on to 0 people because that's what happens. I come on here and I'm talking to that eye right there. It says 0 next to it, and I'm just thinking, why am I here? But it's been a lot better. We've had some conversations, and hopefully we can do this more often. Hopefully I can do this once a week and make it a regular thing, because I'm close to stage 1 of YouTube monetization. I need less than 90 subscribers and around 800 watch hours for stage 1 of YouTube monetization, which is monetizing live streams. Super chats will be available and super thanks and all that stuff. However, I'm not going to pressure you into sending a super chat. I'm not going to pressure you into sending a super thanks. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, donate to my PayPal, because it's not your job to pay me. If you decide to do that, that is entirely up to you. But I'm not going to sit here and say you must send me a super thanks or a super chat or something like that, like some of these people do. And those people know who they are. I know who they are. I'm not going to name names because I get in a lot of trouble with that. I've caused so much beef on here. And I'm not even a big channel. I've caused so much beef with people, with JD, with Wrestle Talk. It's ridiculous, and I need to stop causing beef. But once we hit that milestone, this is why I'm getting more into live streams. This live stream has done pretty well, considering, and I'm hoping to do this more, maybe once a week. But I'm not going to promise anything because things happen. You know what I mean? Anything can go wrong, and I am always prepared for when something goes wrong. You always need to be prepared for when something goes wrong, because anything could go wrong at any time. My internet could go down, stream gone, my baby could wake up, which happened. She did wake up. She started crying. It sounds like she's gone back to sleep, which is fucking amazing, because when she wakes up, oh, it is a nightmare. But she's starting school soon. She's starting school in April, nursery. I'm taking her to see a nursery on Tuesday, which is going to give me a little bit more free time. Not much more free time, but a little bit more free time. We'll see if we've got any more chats before we get off. You need to be faster, not slow. I don't know what you mean by that, but okay. We've got anything else? New comments. Good to see you thrive, my brother. Thank you, Lord Cosmo. Thank you very much, sir. Do an iceberg on everything that Vince did wrong. I would if I knew how to do an iceberg, because I see iceberg videos all the time, and I'm just thinking, what's an iceberg? I know what it is, but I don't see the point in it. Why can't you just give me a list rather than an iceberg? I don't get it, but I need to do look deeper into it. So you're right. Great videos. Thank you very much. I try my best, but it is what it is. I'm very limited to what I can do on here. I don't have a laptop. I'm using my phone right now. I use my phone for everything. So if you've watched things like the rise and fall of AEW, that documentary I did, which I'm very proud of, it's done very well. Thank you very much, by the way, for anyone who's watched it. I did all that with my phone and only my phone. Audio, editing, everything with my phone. So I feel like I don't need to upgrade to better equipment yet, but I will need to at some point, and that's where the monetization comes in. I need to invest money that I eventually make on YouTube into better equipment and a better studio, so to speak, as well, because I was planning on building a studio, but things happened. We've had really bad weather around here. All of my fences have been destroyed, so any money I've got needs to go to fixing all those fences, because my dog's ran off twice since those fences have been down, and luckily she hasn't completely ran off. Luckily she hasn't been run over. I've managed to get her both times, but that's my focus at the minute. I need to fix them fences outside so my dog doesn't run off and get run over. And once I've done that, and we're getting a new car as well. We need to get a new car. This car we've got is terrible. Once we've done all that, I can work on getting my studio sorted, and when I'm monetized, I can work on getting better equipment, and I can work on making better videos. Now, the quality will still rather be the same, but I would have access to more things. I'd be able to do things easier, and it would be more convenient for me. It wouldn't make much difference for you guys, I don't think, but it'd be much more convenient for me. The background difference, that'd be for you, obviously, but we will see. We'll see how long it takes for me to get to this first milestone. Hopefully, it shouldn't take that long now. And then the second milestone is 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours. I will most likely hit the 4,000 watch hours before the 1,000 subscribers, because getting people to like and subscribe these days, and I don't like bashing people for it. I don't like saying, make sure you hit that bell. I like to say it at the end of the video, man. Like and subscribe. At the end of the video, when I've given you something, that's worthwhile, that's brought you here and kept watching. And speaking of something worthwhile, before we get off, I am considering Patreon. But before I set up a Patreon, I need to think about what I'm going to give you in return for your subscription. I can't just set one up, say, oh, subscribe to my Patreon, and not give you anything in return. It needs to be something that's worth your while. I'm thinking maybe 2K24 GM, my GM series. When that comes out, it comes out around the same time as my birthday, so hopefully the missus gets me it for my birthday. I've nagged her about it many times. I want 2K24 for my birthday. If not, I'll go out and buy it myself. But yeah, if I set up a Patreon, hopefully I can get something in there that's worth your while for your potential subscription, and we'll see how things go. But this live stream has been a lot better than I expected. There have been a few times where I've wanted to go, because I'm probably not good in there. Because when you go live, it's different to making a pre-recorded video. It's just so much dread. Oh, I hate it. But I need to fight that off. I need to extinguish that so I can progress as a YouTuber. And the only way for me to do it is to throw myself in the deep end, which is what I have done today. Do we have any more? Paul Triple H Levesque is officially a thing, complete with ring announcement too. Well, they announced him as Paul Levesque as well, because I didn't watch Smackdown last night. I watched the main segments, the main bits, but I've not had time to go and watch the full show because I've just been so busy. It's on so late for me. 1 a.m. Smackdown starts. 1 a.m. I just can't do it. every week, twice a week. So sometimes 3 times a week, sometimes 4 times a week. You got Raw, NXT, Dynamite. If people watch Dynamite, I don't know who does. Not many people these days, apparently. Smackdown, and then you've got the PLEs. Luckily, a lot of PLEs are now happening over in this part of the world, so I can have the privilege to watch wrestling at a convenient time instead of staying up, excuse me, until a ridiculous time, because I stayed up for WrestleMania, and oh my god, I stayed up for night one, and then I was fogged. Night two, I just couldn't do it. I could not stay up for a second night that late. It was horrible, and I hated it. But we've gone well off topic. We've been here for a while, and I will not take up any more of your time. Please like and subscribe if you have if you have enjoyed this stream. It's been a lot better than I expected. Let me know what you think about my idea of The Rock and Triple H, because I personally want this idea. Oh, we got a new comment. I haven't kept up with AEW since Bang Bang Scissor Gang. Somebody let me know when that's over. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I can't stand the Acclaim anymore. I can't stand them. And it's not even Tony Khan's fault. It's their own fault. It's Bowen's fault, and it's Caster's fault. They're just so annoying online. I can't stand them. Now, I don't have a problem with gay people. I don't, right? But Bowens, oh my God, every single week it's, I've been nominated for this gay magazine. Did you know I'm gay? Yes, we know, bro. We know you're gay. You don't need to keep telling us. You're not special. Okay, you're just like everyone else. We're not in a time where gays are being oppressed in the Western world. They have more rights than straight people now, and I understand if they want to do this in places like Pakistan or Saudi Arabia or Qatar. I mean, if you want to go over there and try and change over there, you go over and try and change over there. You're not going to be very successful. You're probably going to get shot. But just leave it out of here, man. We're fine with gays. We don't care. And when you force it upon us, we start to care. We start to get annoyed. And I've gone into a political rant, and I'm sorry. Do we have anything else? Do the Acclaim actually used to have subtly about Caster being sus and Bowens being gay. Then they won 6-man, and their entire title reign has been celebrating a gay joke. Yeah, I see what you're saying, and Bowens has been so annoying, man. When I first found out he was gay, I thought, oh, okay, cool. Doesn't change how I feel about the Acclaim whatsoever. Until he just went on and on and on, until eventually I just can't take it anymore. I've been nominated for Hero of the Year. Why? What have you done to be known as a hero? You're a professional wrestler, and you're on a shit TV show. Why does being gay suddenly make you a hero? I have NF2. I have a disability called NF2. Does that make me a hero? Does that make me a hero because I'm the first YouTuber with neurofibromatosis type 2? No. It's irrelevant to what I do on here. It's something I should keep to myself because it's something only I understand. And it's just ridiculous. It's just attention. It's attention seeking, and I hate. And I've said it many times. I hate attention seekers, especially Kayla Braxton. Oh my God, Kayla Braxton. I called Kayla Braxton out for attention seeking, right? And she could have ignored it, but she quoted me and she sent a swarm of people after me. I had to delete the tweet because I was getting that much hate just from saying, oh well, people with severe anxiety usually don't be on. You know what I mean? They can't be on TV every single week, live TV, which I know myself is very hard to be live when you've got that sort of problem. And Kayla Braxton, she's like happy and smiles. Look at me, and yeah, it just screams, "You're a liar. You're an attention seeker," and I don't believe a word you say. I call out what you say that I think you're lying, and I get tons of hate. I got it with The Rock's daughter. I said, I don't believe her. when she said she got death threats. I don't believe it. I got tons of hate. I got called a bad dad. I got told that I had a baby with my cousin. That my baby's probably with my cousin. Why? Why? Just for an opinion. Why do you need to go to that extent? To the point now where I've taken my daughter off of my ex account because it's just getting. It doesn't make me angry. It's just annoying because these people don't know what goes on in my daily life, and nor should they assume. Now I understand when people say you're a virgin, because I do that myself, right? You assume someone's a sweaty virgin with a neck beard. We all do it, right? But to just go that deep, there's no need, man. No need at all. Yeah, find it. Let me catch up here. Oh, G. Oh my God, I'm gonna butcher this. G Collision, brother, number 17. You are helping me out a lot here, bro. Thank you very much. I need to catch up with what you're saying because you're saying a lot. Yeah, we got through that one. Hulk Hogan actually saved someone's life a few weeks ago. He's more of a legit candidate for a hero award than Bowens. Yeah, I heard about that. He saved a woman from a car that had been tipped upside down or something. I'm not sure about the full story, but yeah, good on Hulk Hogan. He did a good job there. He's a good guy. Oh, depends who you ask. Depends who you ask. If you ask someone that's a darker in skin color, they might have a different opinion on Hulk Hogan. Finding out that Kayla's cyst, her Twitter account, lesion to basically doc. Oh yeah. That was Kevin Scampoli, because Kayla Braxton felt the need to tell the world that how she was conceived. Now, if I was in her position, I wouldn't go and tell people that. What's it got to do with anyone else? If I'm a baby that's conceived out of sexual assault, why do you need to go around telling people that? And she did that, and Scampoli used it as a way to annoy her, which worked. But that's what she was hoping for. She wanted someone like Scampoli to do that, so she could get that extra sympathy. And that's exactly what happened. They doxed him. They got his address. They found out all of his information. Now, I'm not saying Scampoli's a good guy, because he isn't. He's as far as I'm aware, he's done nasty things. And I'm not going to get into personal details about Scampoli because I do like him. I just he's done some things I don't agree with. But I'm just going to leave that at that. Scampoli. He does what he does. At the end of the day, he's a gimmick. He works his gimmick, and his gimmick is to piss people off, and that works. And if Scampoli wants to make a living like that, and he is making a living like that, and he's doing quite well for himself, good for him. It's not how I want to do it, but it is what it is. Yeah, protect your child, dude. These people are crazy. They are. They are absolutely crazy. I had to take pictures of my daughter off, gone, because they were screenshotting it. They were downloading it, and I don't want people doing that, man. I like to show off I've got a child, I've got a happy family, but when these people are saving it into their phones and screenshotting it, man, I just can't take that. Just can't take that. And to go after my daughter herself when she's done fuck all wrong. She's just a 2-year-old enjoying life, and her dad's a prick online. That's basically what I am. I'm a prick online. Touch who is better shape. Touch who is better shape. It is Jey Uso. I said, hey, dude, hello. But yeah, I was supposed to end this stream about 10 minutes ago, but you guys have just kept me talking, which is great. Absolutely fantastic. I couldn't ask for more, but we do need to get off now because I've been here for a while, nearly an hour now, I think. But we've gone over all the topics. Like, subscribe, follow me on X at TheCrossman25. I thank everyone who's been chatting. It's been great. It's helped me out a lot. It's made me feel more confident about future streams, and for when people ask me to be a guest on their channel, which happens more often than I expected, I don't have to go into it feeling dread. I can feel a bit better, because that's what happened when I did those streams 5 months ago. I did that one live stream and I felt loads better after that. I did the second live stream, and for 3.5 minutes, something went down. My frames dropped, and I didn't know how to fix it. And for 3.5 minutes, my stream was fucked, and that made me not want to do streams again. But yeah, this has been great, and I thank all of you for stopping by, for chatting, for agreeing or disagreeing with what I've been saying. I know the Triple H topic is divisive. I know it sounds stupid, but I just have this feeling that Triple H may wrestle at WrestleMania, and I hope that is the case, as long as it doesn't harm him in a way that he needs medical attention. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. Like, subscribe, follow me on X at @thecrossman25. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.